What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to the free trading game collection. If you missed the first episode, please go check it out because it will explain everything about the series. I am going to make a couple of amendments and I'm going to clear a few things up here. So behind me is now a bookcase. I'm starting to make it look like an actual game collection place. You know, we've got a bookcase, there's a TV over there, we're going to have another TV there, we'll have some shelves up here and maybe some sort of postery thing over there at some point. It will start to look good, I promise. But for the time being, we're going to look to fill over there those shelves with games. We already picked up our first couple, of course. Now, the few things that I want to get clear, I said I was going to collect Wii U, maybe some Wii and some PS4 stuff because I missed a generation of games, which is absolutely true, but I think I'm just going to open it all up now because I was going to do a different series as well running alongside this. It doesn't really suit the way I'm going to be running my life and the way that I'm going to run this channel, so what we're going to do is, if I fancy it, I'm going to pick it up. So we're talking Mega Drive, N64, Wii U, maybe some GameCube along the way, probably not an awful lot though, and all the way up to the modern consoles and PS5. If I want it, I'm going to pick it up. Now, with regards to how this works, how is it free? Some people still asking. You're paying for this, it's not free. It is free. So what we're doing is we're going out, we're spending £20 on a bundle, we get a console and a few games, we'll sell the console to make the money back. So say I buy the whole thing, a console and a set of games for 20 quid, I sell the console for 20 quid, that's our money back, we haven't spent anything now, it's free, 20 for 20 basically. All the games, absolutely free, owes us nothing. We trade those in, we get 20, 30, 40, 50 quid, whatever it may be in credit, we spend that on games, it's free, and that's how we work. You need that a little bit of money at the beginning to get going, but once you get going, it just snowballs, and it's not easy, but it's not difficult at the same time. Anyone can do it. It just takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of startup cash. You can do it with as little as a £5, honestly. You can just build up and just keep flipping things until you have enough money to buy these bigger deals. I've skipped that stage and we've added the trade-in. With regards to consoles, how are we going to acquire consoles? I wasn't going to initially, but now I've decided we are going to. So if we want a console in the collection, we are going to have to either buy it from CEX, which I really don't want to do. So I think what I'm going to do with regards to consoles is, if CEX have a special edition that I really want, so, you know, a Splatoon Switch, for example, looks kind of cool. If I want to pick that up, I'll get it from CEX. But the other way that we're going to acquire consoles isn't through trading, unfortunately. So the title of this series is a bit of a sham, but I will get them in bundles. So for example, I really want a Wii U to add to this collection. If someone's selling a Wii U and a whole host of games for 40 quid, for example, we'll keep the Wii U, we'll sell all the games to pay for the Wii U, and we add that into the collection. That's how we're going to do consoles. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get into this week's episode. So I apologise for the lighting and everything, but I was just doing some postage for my main gig, and I came across this, a boxed PlayStation 2. Now, of course, it's not new or anything, but it has the original box. It is the original fat console. It's got all of the panels at the back and everything. It looks to be in pretty decent condition, has all the wires, and it has 2 control pads, which I thought was kind of handy. Now, this person listed it says 21 minutes ago, which it is from now, but I saw it with 6 minutes gone, and I thought I probably missed it because people on Facebook are lightning. I got it, right? So it's 20 quid, which doesn't sound, I mean, it sounds okay, but CEX trade this in theory, on the website for £84 credit. And I'm about to pick this up for £20. We're just negotiating a time, and I will pick this up. This is a bit of a pro tip. I'm pretty sure everyone says this in these type of videos, but look how dark I am. But with this scenario now, you can see down here the conversation is still going on, even though we've discussed a time. I'm about to get ready and go and pick this up. I've asked if she has any other gaming bits, so any old consoles. Now, I would normally rattle off a couple of names here, you know, like Sega, Nintendo and stuff, but I'm pretty sure this person knows what a PlayStation is, so they'll know what other gaming bits and older consoles means. If they have anything like a GameCube or even an NES, SNES, anything like that, Mega Drive, chances are, if they're charging £20 for a boxed PlayStation 2, there is a very good chance that if they do have any of these old gaming bits, they're not going to want an awful lot of money for them. Even if they don't have the consoles and they have the games, sometimes, and in fact a lot of the time, they can be worth more than the console. And people just don't think about this. So I'm going to wait to hear back now. The answer's probably going to be no. So my husband has some Xbox games and a few other bits he's sorting through. He'll show you when you're here. There we go. So I'm going to not be able to, you know, look this up, because if I go to the house and I pick this up and I say, oh, you know, I'm going to go and sell this for 4 times more than what you're selling it for, they're not going to let me have it. So I'm going to need to have a little bit of knowledge going in, and I'm going to need to have, I don't know, I'm just going to be able to, I'm going to have to work this on the fly and see if there's a way for me to sort of make more money from this. Chances are there's probably not if it is Xbox stuff, unless it's original Xbox, and I know a fair bit about that. But that for 20 quid, that's pretty damn good. Let's just hope it works. So I didn't want to film anything while I was there because, you know, bit weird, but this box here is what we picked up. And then, excuse the shoddy camera work, but he also had this, which was just a random box full of, there's a Mega Drive, which, I mean, it may or may not work, I don't know. It feels alright, the controller's there, the wires are there, he's got loads of games in here as well. And he wanted 40 for the lot. And it all seems to be there as well, which is absolutely insane. So, we are back. I have the box next to me. We're going to go through it in a second. I've not gone through it myself. I thought it'd be a good idea. I'm not going to know values of things. I mean, I can guess and we can quickly scan on the CEX app, but I'm not going to know value. So for the most part, I will just keep a running total on the screen. But as you saw when I messaged the woman, I said, do you have any other gaming bits? She said, my husband is sorting through some things. I think he has some Xbox stuff. I went there. I was very early. It was about half an hour earlier than I said, and messaged and said, hey, I'm at the bottom of the street, because they didn't give me the house number until for some reason I was 5 minutes away. I mean, I kind of get it, but I could always just say, hey, I'm 5 minutes away, what's the house number? And then I know it. So I don't really understand why people do that. Anyway, I get the house number, I walk up to the house, and on the drive, there are boxes and boxes of just stuff. And then I spot the PlayStation 2 box that I'm there for, and it's on top of another box we've already had a sneak peek of, and it's full of games. And there was another box next to it that was full of like action figures and stuff. Now, he was probably the same age as me, in his 30s. And he had loads of, I wouldn't say wrestlers, but like Mr. T, like A-Team and stuff like that. I know nothing about it. He offered them to me, tried to bundle it in. He said for the whole thing, I said, how much do you want for this box and the PlayStation that I'm here for? Bearing in mind, we agreed 20 on the PlayStation. He said, oh, give me 60 and you can have this box full of figures as well. And I was like, ugh, I'd only taken 40 cash with me, and because I ran, I didn't take my wallet. I could have maybe PayPal'd him some money or something, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't really want to be spending more, because I haven't got time to go through all the discs on the drive. For all I know, this could be completely empty. I was looking at it, and I wasn't sure, and then he went, okay, give me 50, and I said, look, I would do it. I have 40 on me, so if you want to take some stuff out, that's fine. He said, oh, go on, just give me 40. Now, you didn't see that, so you're going to have to take my word for it. I'm not going to lie to you. If you think I'm going to lie to you, then that's fine. Then that's your trust issues. But £40 for this whole thing. So I apologise for the angle, but this is just how we're going to have to do it. It's just, I do not have the setup for this. It is just how it is. And ignore my bare legs. So, the first thing, of course, we move this out the way for a second, and that over there is my personal Mega Drive, which does have issues. So, I mean, I say it has issues. We'll get into that, but this box is falling apart, by the way. This was what I originally wanted out of this. This is what I saw, this is what lured me to the deal, and I haven't had a look at it, so let's have a little break open. There are marks here where the paint has come away. I am a little bit concerned, actually, that CEX won't accept this in as a... I mean, it is a boxed PS2. It just has, like, that there is ripped, for example. There are no inserts, which is a little bit disappointing. And again, this is ripped. The cardboard is in decent condition otherwise, to be fair. Now, this needs to be working, and we're going to have to test this, or I'm going to have to test this off camera. That's an interesting cable to have for a PS2. This is all tangled, by the way. So, okay. There's no rattle on that controller. There is on that controller. So the problem I have there is I don't know if CX will take it as a trade on the second controller, but we can hope. If they do, it's going to be £10 trade. It feels alright, actually. It's going to be £10 trade on that, and then this will go as part of the system. They are both DualShock 2. They feel pretty damn good. We've got power cables, and there's a really like old-fashioned RF lead there for the console itself. Now, in terms of the console, I said when I looked at it, it looks in good condition. What I forgot to mention was that I didn't actually get a good look at the front. For all I knew, any of this could have been missing. I used to work in a game store, so obviously I've seen my fair share of knackered PlayStation 2s. I've seen them with loads of front bits missing, buttons missing and all sorts. I'm going to have to test to see whether it powers up and whether it comes on. It looks really clean, in all honesty. Like, that is a very, very well kept PlayStation. Like, normally this is full of dust. There's just nothing in it at all. And the back exhaust fan as well normally is covered. But you can see, I mean, that is pretty damn clean. So, in theory, and obviously theories don't often pan out, but in theory that, if it's working, we'll trade in for £86. That's insane. If I have to sell it, and say, for example, CX don't take it, which I will be miffed at, but if they don't take it, then I'm going to have to sell it. It doesn't sell for anywhere near the amount that CEX give for it, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Move that over there out of the way. All the wires are here as well. Now, the next thing was that I saw a Mega Drive, and there it is. Now, it's in better condition than my current Mega Drive, but at the same time, it's not. So the only real annoying thing about this is, not only is there a coloured reset button, someone has gone there with a marker and thought, I know what I'll do. I'll colour it in green. So I'm hoping I can get that off, but God knows how long that has been on there. I mean, this is a very old machine. It's about 30 odd years, maybe even longer. So, in fact, it is longer. It's about 30, is it 33 or 34 years old now, this thing? Crazy. But either way, it still has a serial number. It is a PAL machine, which is nice to see. This is still intact. Normally, you get them... I'm not going to take it off because they're a nightmare to get back on, but normally these are missing, which is pretty good. The other thing is he's absolutely drenched it in WD-40, so it is the slipperiest thing you've ever seen. But this is complete. We have a power supply, which is nice to see, and we also have an RF lead as well, which is pretty nice to see as well. So again, and this is a big if, the PlayStation not so much, but this is a big if this works, CEX take it for £33, and it obviously does come with a controller as well, which the controller is not an original Mega Drive 1 controller, but they brought out so many different variants, I've got no idea. It might be from the second machine, but I'm pretty sure the second Mega Drive 2 had a red start button. It doesn't matter. Again, absolutely drenched in WD-40. I mean, it stinks. But if it works, £33 trade if I decide to trade it. Like I said, mine, which is under there, is discoloured and has issues. Now, that is my original from when I was a kid. So it has issues. I may decide to switch it out. It doesn't read my NBA Jam. That, honestly, that's the only issue it has, and I'm really upset about it. So, now we get into the games. Games-wise, there's a whole array of stuff in here. We have PS4, which is Shadow of Mordor, and it is, I would say, complete, but I mean, just a leaflet, really, so who knows. And then the disc itself is in absolutely immaculate condition. That I had a very quick look at because I've been wanting to play that for a while, and again, because like I said before, the PS4 generation has basically passed me by. So that is a game I would potentially keep, but I'm not sure how to work that into the challenge because we didn't really get this in a trade. It trades in for £4, I think, which isn't actually terrible anyway. I've got no idea... Oh, that sounds loose, and it is. It is Sims 2, or Sims Busting Out. A very quick interjection, I do apologise. I'm going to speed through this, so there's going to be a lot of jump cuts. if I don't add anything to the value, it's either too scratched or CX don't give enough to warrant trading it in. We also have the Sega Mega Collection Platinum, not complete. Bonus disc. Oh, hello. That is actually pretty damn sexy, you know. So the bonus disc in here is Juiced 2. Now, I don't know whether it's juiced on the Xbox or the PlayStation that sells, but that could be worth something just loose. And then Sims 2 Castaway, I'm not going to check the condition of it. I don't know, this one here, Acme Arsenal. There's a DS game in here as well. It is complete. It's Harry Potter, so it probably isn't worth anything on the DS, but it is what it is. I'll move that disc over there as well. What else do we have? Now, I think, is it this one? Yeah. Now, I had a quick check when I was on the drive, and that didn't have a disc. Now, it is case only. They're not too difficult to come by, but they're not really worth money, so I wasn't that bothered by that missing a disc. It was the only one that I scanned. Well, I scanned about 5 games, and I had a quick, is it in there sort of job. That wasn't, so that kind of made me think, well, I don't really want to pay more than 40, even though I didn't have it on me anyway. Gears 2. So there is a second Modern Warfare 2, and this one is also missing the disc. So maybe it wasn't. That's crazy. Maybe it wasn't the one that I checked on the drive, and I've just checked a separate one. But yeah, there's 2 Modern Warfare 2s, both missing the disc, which is a shame. I asked him about the Xbox. He says, I don't know what happened to it. Right, okay. So we have a Tomb Raider Legend here, which might be worth, I don't know, a couple of quid. But again, I'll keep the value going. Halo Reach is in there. One of the best Call of Duties ever made is complete. Batman Arkham City is complete. We have Assassin's Creed 2, which is complete. Black Ops, the original, complete as well, which is actually pretty damn sexy. A PS3 game, Skylanders Giants. Now, I already have this, and they are worth nothing. This might be worth a little bit. Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda. No, this is the one that I checked, or one of the ones I checked, this and Call of Duty. And the reason I checked this is because I know it's a 2-disc game. And often with 2-disc games, you'll find that one of the discs is missing. So the fact that that is there is pretty good. Shaun White Snowboarding. I've no idea. Probably worth absolutely nothing. We are getting... I can see the bottom of the box now, which is decent. Black Ops 2. It is in there, and it is, I would say complete, but it didn't come with a manual anyway. UFC 2010. Hello, I've just seen a game underneath, which is quite exciting. UFC 2010. That's not going to be worth anything, let's be honest with each other. Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year. Now that could be worth something, and both discs are in it. GTA 4, Batman Arkham Asylum. Guitar Hero 3, which is pretty useless without the guitar itself. I've got a couple more PS2 games down here. So, Modern Warfare 3. Oh my god, I'm so chuffed that it didn't have Modern Warfare 3 in it. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you check boxes. That is Tiger Woods 2014. Why am I excited about Tiger Woods 2014? It may be worth more in the States, but it is still worth money over here. The Tiger Woods 2014 was the last Tiger Woods game that they released on the Xbox 360. So Tiger Woods 14 Xbox 360. Now, obviously, there's no case for this, which is very unfortunate. But disc only, it's selling for about 10 quid. So £10 for the disc. And believe it or not, I have a loose Modern Warfare 3. This could be worth something as well, actually. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories from Liberty City. I played this briefly. It was okay. That is very, very badly scratched and also has cracks in the spindle. Battlefield 3. Jak 3, and we also have Jak and Daxter. It is the Platinum Edition on the PS2. Another Assassin's Creed 2. Hitman. This is a game I used to play a hell of a lot back in the day, and it is in there, and I wouldn't mind playing it again, even though it's probably absolutely trash compared to what they release these days. No manual, but won't sell for anything, but I quite like the fact that we have it. Mass Effect 3. We also have a Mass Effect 3 Collector's Edition tin, which doesn't make any sense why this guy had 2 copies of games. So there is a code in there. There is... Oh, this is the PlayStation 3. Right, okay. That makes even less sense. I've just seen a charger for a DS in there. I can't see what's the other side of that piece of cardboard, so that'll be interesting. Another Battlefield 3 open season, which I'm not ashamed to say that I have played for Gamerscore purposes, but it looks pretty decent. I don't know if that sells for anything, but we have open season 3. This used to sell for money, this Tomb Raider game. This is like the reboot of the series. We have Ashes 2009, another Modern Warfare 3. Can we have another? Now, this one actually has Modern Warfare 3 in it. It is complete. It's a shame that we didn't have another Tiger Woods, but it is what it is. Rage. SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. LA Noire is a game, again, that I checked on the drive, and it is complete with all 3 discs. And again, the reason I checked LA Noire, A, because I saw it there, and B, I knew it came with 3 discs. And then Black Ops, complete once more, pretty sexy. No more games, but I tell you what, something I genuinely didn't know this was in here. So we have a charger for a DS, which in itself can sell for about 7 or 8 quid. And it's a DS Lite charger as well because of the connection. It's not one of the really old ones. A DSi? Wow. That is the box officially empty. But that was right at the bottom. It does have a pink stylus, and it's not the original stylus because it doesn't quite fit the top. But hey, that's a DS. Does that turn on? That turns on. So with total credit of around £122, it's time to take a look at some sales. We sold the DSi for £29.95. After fees, we'll be picking up £26.10. The Mega Drive sold for £50 plus postage, of course. We pick up £69.60 in total from those 2 sales. And I sold one of the bundle of games for £16.50 after fees, £83.95. I still have 2 more bundles of games left to sell. Tiger Woods and the steel tin of Mass Effect 3. And then, of course, we get a £122 trade from the PlayStation and some of the games. So at this point, I'm upstairs looking at the Wii U games. So my CX has 2 floors. Upstairs is all the crap no one cares about. Downstairs is all the stuff that people are interested in. At this point in the whole transaction, I'd traded in all of the games. I think I had 30-something in credit, maybe 40, maybe high 30, something like that. And they were having a discussion about the PlayStation 2. So I'm looking at Wii U games here. And I'm thinking, the initial thing I want to do, even though it's opened up and I can buy whatever I want on whatever platform, I'm not just going to restrict myself to Wii U, PS4 and potentially PS1. I'm happy to buy whatever. New camera would be nice. I am going to look to get the staples of the Wii U in this episode. So Mario Kart, for example, I would really like to pick that up. Even though I don't have a Wii U yet, I think I'd like to get it out of the way first. Because obviously they're relatively inexpensive, but Wii U stuff is starting. It's not like massively increasing, but it is starting to go up. And because it was I'm going to call it a niche console, they just didn't sell very many. There aren't as many games flying around the place as there are for other platforms of the same era. And Nintendo stuff notoriously does well over the years. GameCube, for example, is very expensive. So I'm going to pick up the Wii U stuff first, because at the moment it is cheap enough that I can do that when we don't even have that much in the way of credit. Now, PlayStation 2 wise, they're having a little discussion about it because they're not too sure if they can take it in as boxed, even though it is a boxed PlayStation. So I am back from the game store with some good news and some bad news. So the PlayStation 2, they were unable to take as boxed. They were able to take it, but it would have been as console only, but they still would have taken the box off me, which obviously I'm not happy with. I mean, I could have just kept the box myself and gave them the console, but £28 compared to £86 just for the box is absolutely mental. Now, the reason they couldn't take it as boxed is because it didn't have the inserts. So to cut a very long story short, they wouldn't take it as a boxed PlayStation 2 because it didn't have the inserts. So we were all of a sudden £84 down. Now, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, this is the way we're going to acquire consoles that aren't necessarily special edition that we pick up from CEX. We've already paid for this bundle with the DS, the Mega Drive, the games bundles, and the few things that we have left to sell. We're more than in profit. So Going to keep this. It's going to go into the collection until sometime in the future where perhaps I find inserts, buy inserts, or make my own inserts that look original, and we can trade it in and get £84 later on. But for now, it will take pride of place on the shelf. The other thing to mention was I took it to Cash Generator, which is a pawn shop next door. They didn't give me much, but on the way out, I bought a game. It was FIFA 18 on the Xbox 360 for £1.99, and it traded into CEX for £15. It's not orthodox, but because we were in so much profit on this deal and they didn't take the PlayStation, we're going to add that to the trade value. So not the best news, unfortunately, but we still had £52.60 to add games to the collection with the pile of games that we got from the PlayStation bundle and that FIFA 18 that I picked up from that pawn shop, which was Regenerate. You're not going to be able to see it because this camera's horrendous, so it won't focus properly. I mean, I could focus it, but I'd have to manually do it. But that is the total amount due. I spent £53. We have two numbers there, which were the £15 trade credit, the £37.60 trade credit, and then 60 pence left over that I had to pay in order to get these games. So what games did we add to the collection? Well, you saw me look at a couple of them, but I went with Mario Kart 8 because obviously that is a staple of any Wii U collection. You kind of have to have a Mario Kart game. Haven't looked at the condition of these discs, but it still has codes and all the rest of it underneath there that aren't scratched off, so if I do ever want to do that, I can. The last Wii U game I bought from them was a little bit... Yeah, see again. Oh, we can't take that because it's got a scratch. This is covered in fingerprints and light scratches all over it as well, so... they're so... if you're watching this and you work in CEX, hypocrite. So we put that there. We've got Mario Kart, that's fine. I like that. And then Super Smash Bros. I have never played... Well, that's a lie. I've played Super Smash Bros. On the Wii for like 20 minutes as part of like a game night when I used to work in Game Station. But again, it has like little inserts and stuff, and it still has like any sort of DLC code that hasn't been scratched off. Made sure that I went round... That's a good disc. Made sure that I went round and picked the best looking discs. They had a Mario Maker. I really wanted that, but the insert was water damaged and all sorts, so I didn't really want it. That was 10. Mario Kart was 8, so that's 18. And then this one. Now, Super Mario Brothers U. Now, this is the one that comes with the new Super Luigi U game as well. They sell this without the Super Luigi game for about £6, I think it is. So you're effectively paying £4 for that little add-on. But I'm okay with that. Because obviously, if you're gonna pick one of them, you might as well pick the one up that has the Luigi U on it as well. And that is a very good disc. Well done, CEX. I tell you what, the more I go in there, the more I hate them. The selection of Wii U games as well, we are now in trouble because I've picked up. Those are the only 3 Wii U games that I picked up. But they had a little Pokemon game in there, Pokemon Battle. I think it was like £8, which doesn't look like, I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me too much. I probably will pick it up at some point. But the only other games they had in there were the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics Rio 2016, which was £12, which I did consider. I had it in my hand for a little while and then I put it back down. Mario Maker, which I do want to get, but I want one with a better insert. And there are a couple of others, don't get me wrong. There's quite a few that I want, but they didn't have them and they never do. Their Wii U section is quite literally 2 rows, so quite bad. Pop them over there. Because now we're going to look at the PlayStation 4 games. Now, like I said, only 2 of them. This one I have never heard of in my life. I've got no idea what this is, really. It's called Where the Heart Leads. Now, I didn't look this up. I've never, like I said, never heard of it before. And I looked on the back and I read about it. And that's pretty much all I did. I didn't look it up. I didn't look at any footage, nothing. So, from what I gather, you go back in time and relive memories, and if you don't do the memory exactly how you remember it, it can change your future. I don't know why. It sounds very sort of story driven, so that you can just sit there and aimlessly play through it. It's not going to be a challenge, it's more going to be a story. And as I'm getting older, I kind of like that sort of thing, I think. So yeah, that's going to be cool. Incidentally, that Road Rage game is trash bags. I was very tempted to take it in. It's such a bad game, the one that we picked up in the last episode. It trades in for 8. I am going to keep it for now, but I'm very tempted to trade it in at some point. If we have a slow day where we don't really have much trade credit, I might get rid of it because it was awful. But I'm looking forward to playing that. And finally, a lot of people might be a little bit like, oh, really? I've never played it. and I've always wanted to, and it's a PlayStation 2 game that I think that they've remastered for the PS4. Not once does it say remastered, so it may literally just be a PS2 port to PS4, but it is Shadow of the Colossus. Now, this is one of the biggest and apparently best and highest rated PlayStation 2 games of all time, and it looks interesting, like really long game, and not really something that I would often like think of playing, but I don't know, I really fancied it. I looked at it and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get it. I had £14.60. Oh, look at that. That is a nice disc. Well done, CEX. Yeah, I had £14.60 left. There were a couple of other games there that I really wanted, but they were just a little bit too much. I really wanted to pick up Tony Hawk 1 and 2, but that was £22. I really wanted to pick up Mad Games Tycoon, but that was £28, which is actually a pretty good deal because it's about 35 quid on eBay, and I was tempted. But because of the amount of trade credit that we had, or rather didn't have, there it is. Those games get added to the collection. And with that, another episode of the free trading game collection is done. Over my right shoulder, a boxed PlayStation 2, 4 Wii U games, and 4 PS4 games. Yeah, so Shadow of Mordor, I didn't trade in, and I kept, and I've put it on the shelf. Is it part of the challenge? I don't really know. I kind of want to keep it. I just want to play it, but I don't want to trade it in yet, until I've played it a little bit. But I'm playing Gran Turismo 7, so I genuinely don't know when I'm going to get round to it. So for now, even though it's not part of the collection, but it is at the same time, we picked it up as a part of the deal that came with that PS2. We're well in profit on it, so I'll just keep it there for now. It is what it is. So the total value of the collection is on screen right now. Now, the way that I've determined the price of that PlayStation 2, it's not the £84 that CEX was going to give me. What I've decided to do is take the bottom value, take the trade value and half it. So instead of 84, £42. That's the value I've put on that boxed PlayStation 2. Is it accurate? Kind of. I mean, I think I could probably sell it for like 40 to 50 because it's in good condition. The console itself's in insane condition. So I've allocated, on top of the £77 which the games are worth, I've allocated £42 for the PlayStation 2. I've not taken Shadow of Mordor into consideration. Maybe I'll just add the trade value of Shadow of Mordor to it and just keep it in the collection, because it is a game that I would have picked up eventually anyway. So what is the point in trading it in if I'm just going to buy it back again for like nearly double the price? And it trades in for 4. I think you have to buy it for 8 or something, so I might as well just keep it in the collection and assign a trade value to the value of it rather than the purchase value. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's going to do it though. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, of course, do me a favour and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join me next week, because the deal next week is spicy. We have a lot of credit, and I've already picked up the voucher, so I know I have the credit. And until the next time, goodbye.